You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Young and the Restless fans, Cole Howard dies this week, tragically, and that leaves Claire Newman totally devastated and ripe for Holden Novak's scheme. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and let's get into how Cole's death is the perfect chance for Holden to get even closer to Claire. Before we jump in, though, please click that subscribe. So if you are current on your episodes, you know that Cole, Claire's father, is battling Legionnaire's disease, which is a serious form of pneumonia. It's very curable in real life, but Cole's case didn't respond to antibiotics, so he came back to Genoa City to die. So after the hospital called Claire and Victoria and said, "Get down here ASAP," they rushed in. Cole told them he was about to die and he wanted to say goodbye to the love of his life and his daughter. Claire was so sad, and she talked about not having enough time with Cole and how much she wished for a father when she was little and, growing up, but all she had was her psycho great aunt Jordan. Claire is so upset by the idea of Cole dying that she runs out of the room in tears, so she misses his actual death. He tells Victoria goodbye, and of course she's crushed. They share a last kiss, and then Cole passes away. That happens on Thursday this week, and of course Claire's upset with herself that she didn't stick around to see Cole take his last breath. This was hard because Claire never knew her parents growing up because Crazy Jordan kidnapped her as an infant. But Victoria and Cole were making up for lost time with Claire and also with each other. They had rekindled their romance after so many years apart. So Victoria and Claire both thought that they were going to have so much more time with Cole, a lifetime. So understandably, Claire is falling apart at the seams. Meanwhile, Holden has gotten these marching orders from Cane Ashby to target her, among others. And when Holden told Cane how close he'd already gotten to Claire, well, his boss was super excited about that. So Cane is going to be excited. Holden's got a target on her, and Claire is really sad, twice as sad, because she needs her boyfriend, Kyle Abbott, there to lean on. But thanks to Cane, we've got Kyle stuck over in France with no cell service. Claire can't reach him. She can't text him, nothing. She needs Kyle so much right now. So Claire's going to leave him this pitiful, sad voicemail, but who knows when he will get it. So I suspect this is all perfect timing for Holden, who may take full advantage of Claire's grief. Also this week, Holden makes a move on another target that Cane gave him. That's Chelsea Lawson, but Holden is not going to make any progress with her. Turns out Chelsea did see him with Cane at Crimson Lights. It looks like he didn't, but turns out she did. So Chelsea thinks that Holden is working her and she's figured it all out. Holden lied to Chelsea. He tries to cover, but as a former con woman, Chelsea knows a lie when she hears it. So Holden doesn't stand a chance of forming any sort of fake friendship with Adam's lover. But Claire needs somebody right now. She's an easier mark. She needs a shoulder to cry on. And if you remember the other day, she was in the park and so upset about her dad Cole's health crisis that Claire was having a panic attack. And guess who was there to talk her down? It was Holden. So they went for drinks and they talked it out. So, Claire's going to be out somewhere, probably having another grief breakdown, and Holden may be in a position to be there for Claire again, be that shoulder to cry on that she needs. Now, I do think Holden sincerely likes Claire as a friend because Holden was friendly with her even before Cane told him to be. A little flirty, but really more of a friendly vibe. Holden really, though, wants to please Cane. He wants to keep those big fat paychecks rolling in. So unfortunately, I think Holden will do whatever is necessary to get Cane the results he wants. I'm not getting a romantic vibe between Holden and Claire because he's still kind of fixated on Audra. However, that doesn't mean Holden wouldn't take advantage of a situation with Claire. I could see her grieving and them sharing drinks at the GCAC. I mean, Holden should drink there for free since he arranged the purchase of it for Cane in secret. And if you remember, Holden dislikes Kyle and he's jealous of him because of his past with Audra. Holden would obviously like to have Audra all to himself, but he also knows if she and Nate broke up, Audra might just make a play to get back with Kyle. So Holden may be hanging out with Claire when she's upset, drinking while thinking about her poor, tragically dead father. She gets a little drunk, tipsy, drunk, something in there on top of the grief. And Holden takes advantage and winds up in bed with Claire in Holden's room at the GCAC. Something like that. I could see something like that happening. I mean, heck, Claire might wake up half dressed in bed with Holden and assume the worst, and he lets her assume it. I mean, let's be real. It'd be really awful if Claire got drunk and Holden had sex with her when she couldn't consent. Now, if they both got drunk together and Claire and Holden had a messy, boozy one-night stand where, neither was consenting, it's messy, but it's different than if Claire's drunk and Holden was sober and targeting her, which would be utterly despicable. But I do think he's kind of awful, so maybe don't count that out. He knows Kyle's out of the country, and so Holden may comfort Claire, be that someone she needs at her low point and things get out of hand. Holden might not even have to take advantage. Claire might cross a line with Holden because she's so upset and Kyle isn't there. It's pretty common for people to hook up after a loved one dies or after a funeral. It's a life-affirming thing, according to psychologists. And Kyle's not around, so Holden might be the next best thing because Claire's not thinking clearly because of the grief, and you pour a little alcohol on that and you get a bonfire. So if Holden gets Claire into bed one way or another, whether they do the deed or not, if Claire assumes they did, she'd feel guilty and she might confess to Kyle, come clean, which would set the groundwork for a breakup. Plus, we've got summer spoilers for Audra having old feelings bubbling up again, and that could be about Kyle since she seems totally turned off by Holden. So wait to see, but if Claire winds up in bed with Holden, you never know. Cane might give Holden a bonus. It's not entirely clear yet if Cane wants Holden to get close to the people on the list to recruit them as allies or to set the stage to blow up their lives as collateral damage in the coming war of Cane versus Victor. We'll see how it all plays out, but I feel like Claire's grief could make her an easy target, but she's also got a wicked streak because of her crazy aunt and how she was raised. And if she found out Holden played her, well, he and Cane might need to watch their backs. No telling what Claire might do for revenge.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.